Hi, my name is Joshua Blackman. You know that I research every now and then a little bit. I showed one video about how to scientifically prove there is a God. But now I'm going to go into a matter that is somewhat serious. Not as, well, actually, looking at all the results, it's terrifying. I'm not going to get too freaked out over it, because I know if you get too freaked out over something, you go crazy. But I did a lot of researches, read a lot of articles, read a lot. I didn't just, rip it off. I read so much. Let's look at the most serious and most active that can happen for zombies. Most serious: necrosis, fungus, Borne virus, Neuro Toxins, Airborne rabies, and Creutzfeldt Jacob. That would be the virus that went from mad cow disease to humans. That is actually real. It's been found in hospitals and such and such. But so we're looking at what could scientifically cause a zombie virus, not technically a dead person, but a person who is still alive, who still has a disease, who virtually just goes and kills people. And some people think, a zombie virus is easy to throw away. Well, some of them don't walk slow. Some of them won't walk slow. Some of them are going to be fast, according to some of these viruses, especially rabies. But, and worst case scenario would be necrosis. Seems like, because necrosis, you don't have to be bit. It's a virus that releases a toxic chemical which someone would only have to touch you, and all of a sudden your cells start to die. Of course, you don't go mad and insane, so it might not be as bad as airborne rabies or Creutzfeldt Jacob. Let's talk about some other viruses. We know Toxoplasmosa gondii. This one's talked about a lot. I don't see it as much as serious as the others, but we can talk about it. It literally takes over a rat brain. It grows within cats, and the rat generally looks for kittens or cats to die, I guess. I don't know. It literally tries to kill itself off. I don't see that as a serious problem if that transform over to humans. And let's say the other, it would have to simply, it could mutate, giving us, it wouldn't be as serious as airborne rabies, but it could be. It's if a person had no respect for their life, maybe if it takes over their brain, which we have a huge brain, and it got into our instincts, just our instincts, and our frontal lobe was cut off, probably would cause us to be ravaging beasts. Borne virus is a zombie. It shows zombie-like behaviors, and that's actually in all of our DNA. If the Borne virus were to mutate and hit one person, then it would jump from another person to person to person. You may not even have to be bitten for this to actually happen, and just changing all the original Borne viruses that are already in you. And that could cause a big zombie apocalypse. Neurotoxins is one. Neurotoxins is vague. But you get it. It's chemicals that burn out the frontal lobe, causing you to have only instincts. Here's one that's serious, but I read fungus. Here's the actual name: Aspergillus. Can invade the brain. There are over 4 known funguses that can do this, and causes severe symptoms like fevers, all these other symptoms, and if it was serious enough, probably could cause you to go crazy, bite someone else, or get angry. But the main way you get this virus, like, is it contagious? Like, fungus. It's a fungus. Is it contagious? Yes and no. The fungus, parts of the fungus would have to dwell within the mouth, parts of it. But mainly it's going to be in the brain. But where it is contagious is through spores. Meaning once you're dead within a week, the fungus sprouts out and releases spores into the air. You breathe those spores, you become a zombie if you have a bad immune system. Then there's airborne rabies. If airborne rabies were to mutate, it could cause people to go mad, and this could cause what's known as really fast zombies. Also, the fungus can do that, but rabies will kill you within a couple days. So the zombies will die off on their own. But if it keeps going, a couple days can be months, because it goes from person to person. And in months, we could all be wiped out. However, we do have guns, such and such as that, and fortifications, and people doubt that they would be invaded. The problem is, we're thinking American, not worldwide, not third world countries. If third world countries get invaded by zombies, or have any of these, and I got even more, hold on. Neuro Genius is a scientific method where they try to rebirth dead cells within the brain. If that goes wrong, that would be very, very bad. And we're going to save that one for last. Nanobots. We're going to save that one for last. Yeast infections. Insects have a virus where their dead cells come back to life. Bacillary virus infects insect cells that can mutate. FDA already makes vaccines for this. University of Washington scientists are creating zombie viruses that can survive long distances. I don't know why they're creating zombie viruses. One of the viruses' names is silica. It can infect cells. Once coating is removed, it can reinfect cells. The sleeping sickness found in 2005. There's no vaccines made for this. This was on BBC News. Non-repairable brain damage. Non-repairable. Necrosis, of course, I just told you this, is a condition, not a virus, a condition where these cells go into death mode. Basically, what they do is they just start dying because they think that you are dead, and so like your whole arm, it just starts to die. It's dead cells. It's gross, disgusting. You don't feel any pain, but it is dead cells, and it releases a chemical that causes other people to have dead cells. This chemical spreads enough, it can cause many mass death with this chemical, which sucks. You can die. You can catch necrosis just by touch. Yeah, and neurogenesis. Regrow brain tissue. Okay. All right. Now let's go to one. Nanobots/virus is where scientists are working on to make nanobots and viruses fuse together. For good, not for worse. Don't worry, they're not doing it to kill us. They're doing it to try and rid us of viruses. However, this could go bad, in which the virus in the nanobot attaches to brain stems, brain cells, such and such, and reprograms your brain. If the nanobots had a want, or the virus had a want to spread, they would reprogram your brain. Bite by bite, they could transform from human to human, and in weeks, maybe you'll die or live. I don't know. This one is very vague. This one is probably the less serious one because it seems like it's less possible for it to spread, because it'd be in a scientific area. There would have to be someone on duty who would kill the suspecting zombie, cleanses and whatever. But this is over 10. And there's also something known as parasitic wasps. They turn cockroaches into zombie. I put question mark after that. I saw that. Because if the parasite mutates, it could go into humans. But the ones that are out right now, the ones that can actually infect us, the ones that are out right now would be Necrosis, Fungus, Borne virus, Neuro Toxins, Airborne rabies, and Creutzfeldt Jacob, which is literally a mutation off of mad cow disease. Most of these are diseases in which it causes a human to go mad, crazy, maybe causes them to be aggressive. And all of them, except for maybe neurotoxins aren't contagious, but all of them are contagious except for neurotoxins. And problem is with neurotoxins, if you get enough, let's say 50,000 people, well, maybe 50,000 is a little too less. So neurotoxins probably be the least to worry about, but they're already out there, is why I consider them one of the top. Any of these viruses, any of the funguses, just grow a mutation where they beat your immune system. And there are some vaccines out there already, but some of these viruses, like the SleepingDeasise, made in 2005, doesn't even have a vaccine for. And necrosis is a condition, not a virus. It's a condition. So yeah, a zombie apocalypse is possible if you didn't know that said person was a zombie. If it was in a rural area, not a populated area, because if it was in a populated area, the persons would be found very quickly, and they would be shot down. If it was in a populated area, I would suggest the fungus would be the most deadly, because it could spread airborne, and airborne rabies would be the most deadly. In third world countries, such as Mexico, South America, if that spread with any of these viruses, and many millions and millions of people just turned to Walking Dead, they would literally not be dead. They would literally be insane from these diseases. And they would walk over our border. We have 2 million American soldiers that are not even in America. We have 40, 50 people watching the border. If you have any amount of hundreds of thousands of people that just walk over the border, they could literally smash down a fence just by walking. If they crossed over through the car openings and such, I mean, all you would need was 1 million to 2 million infected people because of rural areas, because of third world countries, which is a lot of people, but there's way more people than that, so suggesting that could happen. People without law enforcement, people without law, and that could affect a lot of people. And if such, I mean, it would probably be mainly within the infected country. If it was across overseas, like in Africa, all the continents by Africa could be infected. I doubt that airplanes would be launching at the moment, but some of these viruses take a couple of days before you even know someone's infected. If they had mutated, some of them take a week, but that's long enough to infect. That's long enough to cause a zombie apocalypse. Let's say like 50 some odd people or 100 some odd people got infected, didn't know they were infected. They could actually spread the virus through touching, talking, coughing. A week later, zombies are everywhere because of this. And very few people will be immune. There are more people immune to the fungus, however. A lot more people than less. Like 95% of all people are immune to fungus with the fungal virus. But it could mutate. And it actually can occur. And if it ever mutated to where it busted open a person's immune system, then we'd have a serious problem. As many people that have AIDS could catch this fungus virus and turn into zombies. You know what that means? You get bit by a person who has fungus AIDS. You have fungus AIDS as a zombie. And AIDS is you know what AIDS is. AIDS is a virus that destroys the immune system. So fungus and AIDS were ever working together, our fucking population would be dropped. I don't like that. I don't like that idea at all. But that's a statement. I mean, if you get bit by a person who has AIDS, maybe it could get in your system. Mainly it's through blood and sexually transmitted. But that fungus virus actually caught my eye. So did Borne virus, which is already in people. So did Toxoplasma gondi, which can take over a brain. I have over 10 scenarios where apocalypse such as the dead or semi-dead or disease can actually destroy big populations. So it's there. The possibility of a zombie apocalypse is more than likely. I looked at the evidence against it. The only evidence against it was that you cannot die and come back to life. Except for Neuro Genius, which if your cells can be reborn, birthed, even when they're dead on your brain, if that were ever to follow through, then the dead could come to life in such a weird way. However, your blood and heart must be pumping and stuff like that. It's not always going to be a shot to the head that kills somebody when it comes to these stupid viruses. You can kill somebody by taking out their heart, their lungs, because anything runs out of blood. Oxygen runs out of the brain runs out of oxygen. The electricity or whatever inside the brain cannot function. Even more so, the diseased person would die quicker than a regular person would, in fact. But not to say this stuff is dangerous. And the fact that scientists are already working on zombie viruses, I guess it's to work on them just so they can make a vaccine for them if ever occurrence had it ever popped out of nowhere. I'm not a whole lot worried about it, but the possibility of a zombie apocalypse is there. There's actually been news reports about such people becoming zombies and such. All it would have to be is extremely contagious, rural and local. Rural being the slow breeding viruses, local being the extremely fast airborne viruses. And some of these are incurable. And talking about it actually kind of scares me. But that's the end of this video, really. There's very many viruses. I got Toxoplasma. I'm gonna speak out every virus there is, then I'm gonna end the video. Every single virus there is, I'm gonna speak out. Toxoplasma, Borne virus. Hold on, every single thing that can cause a zombie apocalypse, I'll speak out. Toxoplasma, gondi, Borne virus, Neuro Toxins, fungus, Airborne rabies, Neuro Genius, nanobot/virus, which is very vague, yeast infections, insects, silica, necrosis, sleeping sickness, Creutzfeldt Jacob, and parasitic wasps. Neuro Genius. Yep. That's all it takes. Is a couple people. So like this video or dislike this video. Tell me what you think about it.